Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm an education specialist at the National Museum of American History, and this is John Brown, and he works for the Office of Protection Services. And I'm going to interview him today about his connection to Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian. So, John, tell me a little about yourself. How long have you been working here?
So far, I've been working here for 14 years. It's been very enjoyable. I love working with people.
Great. How did you become a security guard here at the Smithsonian?
Well, actually, I used to be a tour guide for 2 years. That was a summer job back in 1990, and I used that as a reference for my security experience.
Cool. As a security guard here at the National Museum of American History, what's one thing you wish all the visitors knew?
Well, particularly history. You know, I think history is important to know where you're headed. So I think history is one thing I want all the visitors to know once they visit here.
Cool.
And learn some history too.
I think that's pretty easy to learn history here. That's because
right.
I'm an education specialist.
That's right.
So security officers are sometimes overlooked, but thanks to the Night at the Museum movies, I think they're getting a little more attention. So I hear that you actually got to film part of a scene with Ben Stiller in Night at the Museum 2. How did that happen?
Well, actually, I saw the director and the screenwriter on the elevator, and I guess I didn't know they had to use the restroom or what, but we were in the process of closing, and I didn't even know who they were. And while I was on the elevator, they asked me, they say, how long you been working here? And I was like, oh, about 14 years. And they say, well, where you headed next? And I say, I'm heading home. They found that amusing. They asked me, how would you like to be in the movie Night at the Museum? And I was like, what? I say, I'd love to be in the movie Night at the Museum. I say, do I get an Oscar for extra or something like that? And they were like, we don't know about that, Mr. Brown, but we can get some pictures of you and get this thing on the road. And I was like, okay, let's rock and roll.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So when you worked with Ben Stiller, what was that like to meet him in person?
Well, actually, Ben Stiller, I can call him Ben now, you know.
Oh.
No, well, actually, Ben, he was doing a scene with, it was a female playing the curator, and he had to keep doing the scene like maybe 4 or 5 shots. And he would, after the scene, he would run toward me because I was standing there waiting in the background. And he said, so how did I do? And I was like, I'll give you the thumbs up, Ben. You did an excellent job. So I felt like, wow, Ben still asking me how did he do in the scene. So that made me feel pretty good.
Nice. Sounds like a good coworker.
He's a great coworker.
So,
I'm looking forward to doing more work with him.
Oh, I see. Some aspirations.
That's right. That's right.
So as far as costuming, did you get to wear your own uniform while you were in the movie?
Well, actually, I got fitted for another costume, and I had to wear the costume that he wore in part 1. They got me tailored and fitted, and I must admit, I look pretty sharp, so I got to wear their uniform.
Maybe we should talk to your boss about switching up the uniform.
I think it's a good idea. Once you see the uniform, I think they'll love it.
All right.
It's good.
So as far as what you know about the movie, what are you most excited about seeing on the big screen?
Me. I want to see myself. I've never seen me on the big screen. I'm looking forward. I saw part 1, and part 1 was actually, it was funny, and part 2 appears to be like, it seems like it's going to be just as funny or funnier than that one. So I'm looking forward to seeing Ben Stiller, do his thing.
All right, now just one last question, because Night at the Museum makes me think about museum objects coming to life. What is one thing in the Smithsonian's collections that you would really like to see come to life?
Probably the Rice Brothers plane. I used to work at Air and Space, and I used to patrol that particular area, and sometimes, my humorous thoughts, I would imagine that plane, actually really flying around D.C., so I would like to see the Rice Brothers plane come to life.
Thanks, John, and thanks, viewers.
Be sure to come check out Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian. Starts today, May 22nd. You'll enjoy it.
And after you watch the movie, come visit us in Washington, D.C., or check us out on the web at americanhistory.si.edu.